Right. Well, pulling us back to the world of combat sports. As of last weekend, we had some fights all over the world. The UK, we had some in Australia, we had some locally here in the United States. So let's do a bit of recapping. Since it's a midweek special, we'll touch and go and get into some discussions and some topics that we want to cover in the throughout the course of the week. Some news transpires, but anyways, going directly to a recap. We what do we start with, fellas? Here, we
Loaded
start,
boxing weekend. Loaded
Yeah.
boxing weekend. Let's
start with a
go with
big
the
boy.
big boys. Big
All right.
boy.
Right.
We had
The
Joe
heavyweights.
Joyce versus Philippe Hrgovic. Fellas, did you guys catch this one? It was a midday, mid afternoonish special.
Man, a slugfest. It was like watching two uncles fight in the backyard. They were just, you know, I
Yeah,
know Strap. You texted me earlier in the fight.
yeah,
It was saying how Hrgovic looked, or Joe Joyce looked tired.
tired, yeah,
Yeah, he did look like looks like a fighter that's aged a little bit in the ring.
right.
You know, his footwork looked a little kind of weird.
Kind of
You
off.
know,
Like, yeah, he was.
yeah,
Yeah,
it just he competed well. You
yeah,
know, he competed well. I was surprised, honestly, with the outcome
yeah,
being unanimous. I thought there were a lot of close rounds, but you know, it's hard to judge heavyweight boxing. It was a lot of shots. I mean, Joe Joyce, you know, they talked about him considering retirement. I
mm,
mean, he has nothing to be ashamed of if that's the fight that he goes out on.
yeah. Did you get a chance to watch it, LT?
Not in live time because I was at a track meet out in the rain and in the wind. But I did get to see a little bit of the recap, a little bit of the replays and highlights. I mean, I think Cam did a good job of painting the picture on that. It's just entertainment though, like right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
that's really I mean, just the appreciation for the big boys slugging.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it and it started off okay. And Cam, help me out here. I think it was a tough watch. If you're someone looking for your heavyweights to at least a knockdown here or something to lift you off your feet, it wasn't the biggest. I'm not a boxer in this essence, so but I didn't see them like they were not sizing each other up or catching this, doing distance and whatever. These guys were just hitting each other like. And salute to both of their chins, like
Look, I will say Hrgovic has some mean shots in there, and
yeah,
Joe Joyce took them. So him
the
wearing the
still tough.
juggernaut helmet
Juggernaut helmet, yeah,
was that was I was like, bro, there was a lot of heavyweights fall from the shots that Hrgovic gave last weekend. So I mean,
yeah.
it was just one of those. It was a heavyweight slugfest, man.
And even post fight, Hrgovic had a lot to praise about Joe Joyce's uh, conditioning, his strength to stay in the ring and take those type of shots. Because if you know how Joe Joyce fights, he's a guy who gives you the opportunity. I think he's a very good counter fighter. He's kind of awkward the way he moves towards you. Like he says, he looks like he's tired, but he's not. That's just his style. Um, but he's been put down by a lot of fighters too, but because of that style, like he offers too much. And Hrgovic on the other end, it was like dancing partners in the mirror. Like Hrgovic was offering Joe Joyce too much. So it was, I wouldn't say a rock'em sock'em, but it was one of those like just everything was an exchange. Didn't see too much of defensive work or traps being set. Maybe my eye is not as trained to see the traps being set. It was just what you see is what you get. It wasn't too much uh, boxing. It
Well,
was
how do you feel though? Where is the retirement rumors coming from? Is it because that this is what we deem to be kind of a underperforming career for Joe Joyce? Is it coming from him out of his mouth, or is this just online speculation?
he struggles.
Well, this was in the I think the broadcast they
Mm,
brought it up as well. Just the he took a lot of punishment this fight.
punishment. Yeah.
This fight, you know, gets him further away from title contention, which at this point in his career, that's what he's truly seeking. And Hrgovic is looking for that same opportunity as well. So, I mean, granted, he took a lot of great punches from Hrgovic. Maybe he does stay in the ring because there's a lot of heavyweights. There's a lot of fights to be made um, in that sport right now. But I don't kind of random, but did y'all notice the Nigerian flag on Joe Joyce's trunks?
Yeah.
Is
Uh-huh.
Nigerian descent?
I believe it's half Nigerian, half white, half Nigerian.
Okay. I
Yeah,
did not know
yeah.
that, so I just
So Joe
I had to
Joyce,
know that.
some inside story on Joe Joyce out there. He has been deteriorating throughout his. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, but if you watched his interviews, he kind of gets off, and people around him and people in the boxing Twitter world are like, "Man, this guy's taking." He's been into some wars. If you remember his fight, his Chisora fight, um, his his fight with Zhang, he had two back to back with Zhang. You know,
Yeah,
his Joe Parker fight. He's had Carlos, the Cameroonian. Is he called Takam Carlos Takam? He's been into these monster wars, and with that being said, he's not had an extensive heavyweight professional career, but he has also an illustrious amateur. He's done Olympics, he's done all that stuff. But it's just that he takes too much damage, man. That style, like people are like, yo, you've lost back to back. You've been into some wars. You fought some people that fight exactly like the way you fight. Maybe sit down and you don't want to. That the miles are on you, man. The miles are on you, and same thing I would say for even Deontay Wilder. There's some people they have been in wars. Like you worry for the fighter now. You're like, okay, bro, you're losing, and you're not fighting in a smart way. I mean, and that's the style. People go out on their sword, but that's why I think those Twitter rumors of retirement come from.
I know. For me, it's just that I put a place in the sport for people like this. Like he's a gladiator, and he actually obviously has some charisma and some character because he's donning the
the
juggernaut
juggernaut.
attire. So if maybe, I mean, does he view himself as a championship contender or is he just a journeyman? I think that people like him have a place in the sport. If he wants to continue fighting, I welcome you. I enjoy it. I appreciate it. But that's just my perspective.
Yeah,
Quick note:
he's
one
special.
1-4 in his last 5 fights. 1-4 in his last
Mhm.
5 fights.
He's been, yeah. And he's from that breed of fighters that came up after that 2020 that 2012 Olympics. Just big 6'7", 6'6", Deontay Wilder style. Like he's of that ilk of where we had heavyweights above 6'5". Tyson Fury. That's his generation. He's not a young dude. He's turning 40 here soon, I
Oh
think.
wow!
Yeah, he's 39. 39.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like he's not
So
a
he
guy
turned
of.
pro late.
Yeah, he turned pro. He was an amateur guy for a long time and a sparring partner for some of. I think he was a Klitschko sparring partner as an
Okay,
amateur. But
that
yeah,
puts it
man,
in better perspective.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
because
done
he
his
got like
thing.
he spent a lot of time in the gym sparring, getting ready for those competitions, and at that weight, it just wears on you a little different. So I
Uh,
think the conversation was warranted. I mean, ultimately, I didn't see a fighter where you're like, "Dang, you need to get out of there." It's just one of those
mhm.
things like, "Hey, do you want to give it another crack? Get a couple more paydays, or are you just gonna hang it up?" And I feel like, hey, heavyweights need good opponents. We got some heavyweights on the bill, and then coming up down the line, they may need opponents
And
in the
and,
future. I
and
mean,
let's let's
I don't see an issue with it.
let's be honest. Like we love heavyweights, right? But
Absolutely.
mention one heavyweight right now that is cognitively tip top from our golden era, besides Lennox Lewis or Evander. Like a lot of them have speech problem. I saw, bro. I saw what's his name? I saw Tony speak, and bro, he's the brain is working, but he cannot speak right. You look at the Riddick Bulls of the world, like heavyweight. When a heavyweight hits you, it's a different hit to the brain and
completely different sport.
yeah. So I could see why there's concern there. I mean, you don't see many sound heavyweights in their 50s, so
Goodness.
kind of dark, but
Yeah.
it is the truth, man. It's the pain business, man. It's the
Yeah.
pain business. These guys are gladiators, and that's why they deserve to get paid at the biggest dollars.
The
The premium, because they are risking their life. Last week about two boxers, I think I follow this thing. Two boxers died in the ring. So yeah, they deserve everything all the money they get. No complaints from me. Do we want to hop on to the next heavyweight?
We got more.
Let's go for it. Yeah, let's
All
transition into it.
And the previous one that we were talking about, that was Queensberry, and that was overseas.